I'm about to show you how to build a 6 to 7 figure personal brand on YouTube. Just like I did for people like Eric Cavallars, who currently makes $100,000 a month from his YouTube channel, or Chandler Sane, who also does $100K a month, or Joel Kaplan, who we made over $6 million just from YouTube. This video is a complete masterclass on growing your personal brand. And if you want to make money, get leads, fuel your business on YouTube, then this is the video for you to watch. I go over literally everything that you need to know inside of this exclusive masterclass that will allow you to not only grow your personal brand, but make a ton of money from it. People originally paid a lot of money to watch this, but now I'm giving it away to you for free. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in.
About 4 years ago, I started my first YouTube channel. This is it. Pretty dog shit, to be honest. We had some videos that did well, but the majority, like you can see, it's super low quality. Thumbnails were absolute shit, and titles were not great. The views were not great as well. We had some videos do well, but most of them were just a couple hundred views. So basically, I posted once a week for an entire year, and it took me an entire year. I barely got any views, unfortunately, which sucked because that was how I was trying to make money, right? I had dropped out of college. I was going all in on YouTube, and I was getting nowhere. The worst part, I was making no money. And I was just like literally living off my savings that I had put together from working at a restaurant as a chef. It was just my bank account was going down, which is not what you want. So fast forward to now, I went from being absolute dog shit at YouTube to now 25,000 on a new YouTube channel in 8 months. I made this presentation last month. We're at 34,000 right now, and then 14,000 members on school. Right now we're at 16, so 16.4 I think, and making multiple six figures a year. Here's a $15,000 day from one of our clients, or from just Stripe in general. And then not only that, I grew Joel Kaplan's channel from 5,000 to 250,000 subscribers last year. So basically dropped everything, flew out, worked with him in person, and scaled the channel. Generated him over $6 million in organic revenue from YouTube. Here's a screenshot of one of our $100,000 days. We've had multiple $100,000 days, and also we've had days where we booked over 100 calls just from YouTube. Also had the pleasure to work with some of the biggest names in the space. That's Paul Hilsey, 8 figures at 21, Abdul Faruqi, worth over $100 million, and Ty Lopez. You guys probably all know Ty. I've not only gone viral more times in the business space than we can count. Here's one video, two, but we built a repeatable monetization system that you can use to make millions from organic. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. And it's not a VSL funnel. It's not like any of that stuff that you've heard before. It's a completely new idea that you guys probably never heard of. And I think it can benefit a lot of you because it's a way to essentially stand out on YouTube. It's pretty repeatable. Like almost everyone here can do that in their niche because it's so new. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So I put together this doc for you guys. And this is the doc that I usually give to anyone who kind of like pays me for my time, because this is essentially just a really good doc to educate on how YouTube works and how to stand out in your market. So the first thing that we're going to go into is the monetization aspect, because this is the most important part, because I'm assuming most of you guys don't just want to get views, you also want to make money. And if that is the case, then you need to add insane value, which can look like a lot of things, but the best way to do it, and the best way to do it in today's market, is give away a free course. That can be a free course on Kajabi. It could also be on YouTube if you don't want to spend money on Kajabi or whatever. You can do it on School as well. That's where I have mine. So if I pull up School, you can see how ours looks. So this is our free course. We have 16,000 members, and then you just have a full course basically in here. It's actually a full course. Like it's huge, right? There's over 8 hours of content in here, and we spent months making that. So that is the easiest way to stand out in today's market on YouTube, is simply just adding more value than everyone. And the way that you do that is just making a free course, because most people, especially in the last couple of years, have made a lot of their money charging for courses. So free courses are still new enough to just be like, holy shit, this guy just broke the market and just delivered more value than everyone else. And that's exactly how you stand out on YouTube, is you either be new or you be better. And it's a lot easier to be better than everyone else than be new. Basically, give away a free course. You should spend like a good month or two making this video, and you want to essentially demonstrate how you can help them with coaching / your service, and have that as the main and only sell in that free course. So the free course should be like 8 to 12 hours, and about once every hour you should CTA into your coaching program or whatever that may be, or your product, or whatever your sell is. You just should have that one sell. You shouldn't try to like get them to Instagram. You shouldn't try to get them to anything like that. Just put them direct into your funnel. And that's going to be the best way to get a ton of traffic, because by the way, when you make this free course video, it almost always gets over 100,000 views. We did it with Joel, and every time he's done it, it's gotten an insane amount of views. So we did this one, 181,000 views. That's a 12-hour video. This one, 152,000 views. And if you go down, I think we have more. We have this one as well. Yeah, this one as well. It's 263,000 views. If you look at Jordan Bound, who's also done this, he got 3.9 million views on this 18-hour video, which is a free course. So these videos videos just absolutely crush almost every time that you post them. And that's because there's a huge market gap right now that you can take advantage of. If you take anything away from this call, make a free course. It's the easiest way to blow up right now on YouTube. And it's a huge opportunity that not many people are taking advantage of. So that's number one thing. So it goes video, course, coaching. And then alternatively, if you sell a course currently and you don't want to do the free course angle, or let's say you just don't want to put in the effort to do that, you can also just make a VSL. I'm sure most of you guys have seen that before, like how Iman does it, where he just has a VSL on his channel. That still works, but it doesn't work as well as the free course because they're only spending 30-40 minutes with you compared to 12 hours, which is a lot more powerful. And Google actually did a study, I think it's the 7-11-4 rule, where basically people need to spend 7 hours with you, 7 hours of interaction across 11 touch points in 4 separate locations before they make a purchase. So that 7 hours can be cut down significantly if you're doing that free course, which is super powerful. I'm going to make selling a lot easier. So alternative, that VSL funnel, that's fine too, still works. First off, I would ask if anyone has any questions on that because that's the most important part of the call. Next thing is basically the types of YouTube videos that you're going to want to make. This is after the free course. We're done with the free course. So these are just the types of YouTube videos that you're going to want to make on your channel in order to get clients, is to essentially make 50% broad content and 50% niche content. The reason why you do that is because your broad content should be basically a video that targets the largest portion of your total addressable market on YouTube or your target audience. Let's say you were doing like OnlyFans management. You could essentially make one video titled like how to make $10,000 a month doing OnlyFans, right? Or something like that, where that targets like every single influencer who wants to do OnlyFans. As a niche video would be more like how to do this certain thing with OnlyFans, like how to set up your OnlyFans account or something like that, where it's like everyone still needs it, but it's a much more niche topic. It's not the widest dream outcome of the audience. So everyone still needs that content, but it's not like the widest dream outcome. And you can see this on my channel as well. For example, on our channel, it's like we have this video, right? This is boring, but you'll hit 1,000 subscribers fast. This is the dream outcome of the widest portion of my audience, is to hit 1,000 subscribers. And then we have this video about how to actually film a YouTube video, where it gets a small fraction of the views. But this video is just important as this video, because this video is for growing the channel, and this video is for keeping the audience on the channel and giving them a path that they can follow to keep watching the channel and not just seeing how to hit 1,000 subscribers, how to hit 1,000 subscribers, how to hit 1,000 subscribers, right? They need other content as well. So like, for example, same with this one, like how to write a killer YouTube script. This one, how to master the art of storytelling, like that's also a niche video, but it just did really well. These niche videos can also do well, but you want to do about 50-50 on that. And that essentially just gives viewers a reason to stay on the channel, which is super important. And then next thing that you guys are going to want to do is get very clear on your target audience. That's super important. I know that's pretty obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. Get super clear on the target, like who are you actually making content for? For the majority of you here, unless you're trying to build like a gigantic personal brand, then it's just going to be for clients. So you can make, you know, like let's say you're selling like, I have a client selling agency coaching, right? And he helps agencies over $10,000 a month. The videos that we're making for him are like how to go from 10K a month to 100K a month with SMMA. Like that's a very targeted video for that ideal prospect. He wouldn't make a video like how to start SMMA with $0 because that's not who he's selling to. And while that video would do really well, it would probably get him a lot of views. It would not make him a lot of money. So we don't do any of those videos because that's not how he wants to be positioned and it's not the target audience. So make sure you get very clear on this. And if you are selling more BizOp, then go for the largest target audience, right? Like if you're selling BizOp, go for the how to start SMA with $0, right? Or how to start dropshipping with $0 because you're going to get a shit ton of views, build a huge personal brand and make a lot of money. It just depends on who you're actually targeting. That is that. And then moving on from that, just want to go into a couple of YouTube lessons. For each video, you really want to focus on what is the key lesson in the video. I have one overarching lesson in each video. So let's say like I make a video about how to make thumbnails. The overarching lesson is make them simpler. And I would focus the entire video on that lesson and I would break down like the 3 ways to make them simpler. I usually like to split up videos into 3 sections. So it'll be like the overarching idea, the overarching key lesson will be how to make thumbnails simpler, but then I will have point 1 be like only put 3 elements. Point 2, do this color combination. Point 3, you know, make sure you have good headshots, something like that. You want to kind of break up your videos like that and you want to focus on this one key lesson throughout the entire video. You can also demonstrate this key lesson through animation. That's super powerful. Still, not enough people are doing animation properly. Most people just add animation to add animation. time. Like if you can visually demonstrate what you're talking about to add to your words instead of just repeating your words, that's where animation becomes extremely powerful. And also, if you're in education, which I'm assuming most of you guys are, the goal of your content is to give hope. So most people are watching that video because they're struggling with something. So you want to actively add lines of copy in your video. So you want to actively add like sentences and words that give hope. Repeat the dream outcome. So one thing that we like to talk about is called copy payoffs. And this is essentially every probably 2 minutes or so, we'll just have a whole paragraph reiterating the dream outcome of the viewer. And that essentially releases a ton of dopamine in their mind and gives them constant hits of dopamine throughout the video to where they're staying on and they're engaged. So that's a super powerful concept. And then everything else, just simplify it. You don't want to use a lot of really complicated language because it's just, you'll lose some people. Keep it like a fifth grader. The next thing that you guys really want to focus on YouTube is the first impression. So this is the most important part of your content. It's like the 80-20 of what gets you results. And that's the idea, title, and thumbnail. I'm sure you guys have probably all heard that before, but it can't be understated how important that is. Literally with Joel, if I show you guys like the difference in the thumbnails and the packaging and the views, it's insane. That when we came on, like right here, like you can see the thumbnails are like pretty dog shit. They're just super busy. They're like have Joel 0, 10K a month, money, Joel again, and an arrow. There's just tons of elements. 11 must have SMA software. It's just like everything just like flying around, just so many elements, and it looks horrible. And you can see the views as well, right? It's like 300, 1.2, 917. And then as soon as we came in on this video, this is the first video that we worked on, instantly you can see the difference just because of the packaging. And that's all down to the title, thumbnail, and idea. Literally, that's the only thing we changed. So this is the highest leverage thing that you can do on YouTube, is simply just improve your titles and thumbnails. And then as you can see, everything, we got consistent views just because of the titles and thumbnails. So that's extremely important. If I was going to spend any money on content, I would hire a really good thumbnail designer. Bare minimum any of you guys should be spending if you want to actually get views on your videos is like $50 an image for a thumbnail. Better is to spend like over 100 or 200 per thumbnail, which sounds like a lot, but that's really what it takes to stand out in today's market. Unless you want to like spend 1,000 of hours to get really good at Photoshop. Like for example, on Amplify, I don't pay $300 anymore, but I used to pay $300 per thumbnail. Now I have a full-time guy who I pay like $3,000 a month, and he's full-time with me, and he's a savage. So I got that cost down, unfortunately, but starting out, I would definitely pay just some like contractor, like $200 a thumbnail. You can find them on Twitter. Twitter's the best place to find thumbnail designers. So idea, title, thumbnail, and then also the next 60 seconds after that, make sure you have a scripted intro. If you're currently not scripting your intros, then you're missing out on a ton of views. The reason why that is because you lose the majority of people in the first 30 seconds of your video. So I'm sure most of you guys know that, but I'm just going to show that visually. So like in the first 30 seconds, you have a majority drop off, right? So if you can just lower this initial drop off as much as possible, then the rest of your video will have like exponentially higher retention, which will get you a lot more views. So the goal should be focusing on this. Goal is to get it over 60. This video still got views, but it's below 60, which is not good. This video would have gotten way more views if it was above 60. That's something to keep in mind. 50% of your time should be focused on these 4 things. Like 50% of the effort and time that you put into creating one YouTube video should be focused on the idea, title, and thumbnail, on also the intro. That's number one most important thing. Next thing, in your content, especially in your intros, one thing that you really want to do is to push hot buttons. And what that means is find the things that your audience really cares about and is super either passionate or they hate it to where it's like super polarizing. So for example, politics, right? Everyone gets super mad about politics. Talking about like retiring your mom, that's something that people respond really well to. For example, college, saying college is a scam or something like that. I feel like that one's a little bit overplayed now because a lot of people have done that, but that's definitely still a hot button if you can frame it right. So think about this for your target audience. Like for my target audience, a hot button would be like getting to 1,000 subscribers, right? It'll be different for all of you. I would list these out and try to figure out like which hot button your audience actually responds to. Next thing is how to blow up. The easiest way to blow up is simply just come up with more ideas. That's the number one way to just increase your average views, is just come up with more ideas. So I come up with around 100 ideas for every video I do. What I would recommend for you guys, I would sit down for an hour a week and just come up with as many ideas as humanly possible. Usually an hour, you should be able to come up with around 50. So you could actually spend 2 hours a week. I spend an hour a day, but that's just because I do this like for my job and I do it for like clients as well. It's not all just for my channel, but I spend an hour a day coming up with ideas, and that's like a non-negotiable for me. If you're trying to take YouTube seriously and you really want to get more views on your channel, then definitely sit down for at least an hour a week. Choose your top 5 ideas, and then also have one of your friends. You could just use another guy in the new elite and just kind of have them go over your ideas and pick their top 5. It could also just be someone from your target audience. So like, let's say you're making content for people training Muay Thai, right? I'm sure that's some of you guys in here. You could just go to a Muay Thai fighter and be like, hey, what do you think of these video ideas? And what that would do is essentially get direct feedback from your target audience, which is super important. Be like, which video would you click on? And you want to only do the videos that you overlap on. So for example, what I have on my system is I have me and like my entire team here, all the guys on my team, I have them go through and select all of their ideas. And then I only do the ones we overlap on. So, but for example, like this is a video I might do. How to get lucky on YouTube. It only takes one video because 3 of us have checked it off. Same thing with this one. I got 99 problems with going viral ain't one. How I learned YouTube in 2024 if I could start over. Like all of these videos have multiple checks. And so I would just ignore the rest of the videos and only focus on the one that have multiple checks. And that essentially, it removes your bias on what videos you think are good and makes sure that you only make videos that you know are actually good. That's super important. Yeah, last thing I'm going to cover is just intro frameworks. This is super easy, not that complicated. Basically, first thing you want to do in the first line of your intro is just immediately confirm to the viewer that this is the video they clicked on. So that means what's the title and thumbnail, and then just making sure that when someone clicks on that title and thumbnail, they're getting an instant confirmation that is the video that they actually clicked on. So what that would look like is I have a video titled How to Master the Art of YouTube Storytelling. And actually the original title for that one was like the lost art of YouTube storytelling. And in the first line, what I say is there is a lost art to YouTube storytelling. So like literally just repeating the title pretty much in that first line is going to be super powerful in terms of avoiding someone clicking off immediately, which is the most likely scenario when they click on your video. If you confirm that first line, confirm the click, confirm that expectation that they had from the title and thumbnail, there's a much higher chance that they'll stay on. And then also in this first line, it could be first or second line, you want to give credibility as well. So like I would say, there's a lost art to YouTube storytelling, but I cracked it and used it to get 10,000 subscribers in 3 months, something like that. Or I've learned how to tell stories that have gotten my clients millions of views, something like that, where you're going to add some credibility. This credibility can also be nonverbal. So you could show like a picture of you like holding like a ClickFunnels award or like some sort of plaque. Like for me, that would be like a silver play button or something like that. You can show credibility visually as well. That's line 1. And then second line is introduce new narratives or unclosed loops. What this means is essentially just opening a question in the viewer's mind. Because when someone has a question in their mind that's left unanswered, they feel a sense of incompleteness, and therefore they're much more likely to stay on the video until you answer that question. Because when you answer it, it closes that loop and it gives them a dopamine hit. So what you're going to want to do is open a question, which how do you do that? For this video, it would look something like this. Like there's a lost art to YouTube storytelling, and there's a storytelling framework that I've used recently that's allowed me to get 10 million views on my last video. So now people are wondering, what is that storytelling framework? You're not asking them a direct question, but you're framing your next line in a way that opens the question. If you did a video, how to make $10,000 a month, you could be like, I'm about to show you how to make $10,000 a month. And I've made over $1 million using this same strategy. And then the next line could be like, you see, there's a 3-step process that anyone can use to make $10,000 a month. So now people are wondering, what is the 3-step process? And they're not going to have that question answered until you go through step 1, step 2, step 3. So there's a lot of ways to open questions. Your second line needs to open a question. Very, very important. Third line, you want to make sure you set the right expectation. So what that would look like is essentially just telling or showing viewers what's going to be in your video, the actual style of the video itself. So for example, if you're doing more like a loom breakdown or showing like a call recording or something like that, then what you're going to say is like, you know, we're going to dive in depth. I'm going to show on everything from X, X, and X. This will be an in-depth masterclass where I'm going to show you exactly how to achieve X results. It's going to set them up for the expectation that this will be a slower video and it will probably be a little bit more boring, but it will have a ton of value. And if you set that expectation in the intro before they get into the actual video itself, you'll be surprised how many more people will stay on even a boring video if they know that that's what it's going to be beforehand. If you surprise them though, like if you're going to be like, this is the craziest video of all time, I'm going to like, do some crazy shit, and then you hop into like a Google Doc or something and it's like a loom recording, people are going to be like, what the fuck is this? And they're going to click off. So you have to properly set the expectation for what the video will actually look like. I mean, you can do that visually as well. So you could like, if you're doing like a Google Doc breakdown, you could just put a screenshot of the Google Doc or some B-roll of you talking through the Google Doc while you're saying that third line. And then the fourth line is going to be establishing singularity. So this is why is your point of view unique? Why should people listen to you over someone else? And with that, I like to just repeat a mission statement. Like my mission statement is like, I'm on a mission to take 1,000 YouTube channels to over 100,000 subscribers completely for free. That's like how I established that unique POV. What you can also do is just tell people why you're different. So you can be like, everyone else is telling you to do this thing this way, but I'm not doing that. And I'm going to tell you how to do it this way, this better way, or this new way. I'm essentially positioning yourself as new and different than everyone. And then you can also put more credibility here. It's best to mention credibility twice in an intro. So what that would be, you could just tell them, be like, and I'm going to teach you how to do this the new way, or this is the same way that's allowed me to achieve X result. And then you're going to go directly into the video. So this intro should be about 30 to 45 seconds, not longer than that. Yeah, this is probably the most powerful intro framework that I've come across. I think everyone here can benefit from it. It works with almost every single type of video. Next thing is outro framework. When we have the free course, the reason why we make that video is so we can send every single person who watches all of our other videos back to the free course. Every single video that we make will funnel back to that free course video where we pitch and nurture the audience. And that's how you really build that flywheel effect of every time that you post a new video, you're getting more and more traffic on your offer, your coaching program, or product. This outro framework is extremely important because this is where we are actually doing the CTA to go back to the free course or the VSL video that we created. And normally per 100 impressions, you're going to get about one person to click on it. If you just tell them, be like, hey, go watch this free course video where I'm going to show you how to do this thing. But if you use this outro framework, we've consistently tested this across all 40 of our clients. And every single time it's gotten an above 5% CTR. So we're going from 1% to 5%. So essentially you're getting 5 times the amount of people funneling back into your offer or into your free course / VSL that funnels into your offer. Having this alone can literally 5x the amount of impressions that you're getting. Basically, what you need to do, first link the CTA to the previous video. This example is me talking about how to get 1,000 subscribers. That's what I was talking about in the video. To transition into the outro, I said that if you want to scale past 1,000 subscribers and get a silver play button, you need to understand the 7 pillars. So that's basically connecting the previous video to the outros because I'm about to show them the 7 pillars in this next video. The next line is curiosity gap. So same thing we did in that second line on the intro, basically opening a question in the viewer's mind that they don't have answered. What this looks like is, so that's exactly why I made a free YouTube course with over 12 hours of content going over everything that you need to know in order to grow from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in 2024. So now people are wondering, okay, what is the free course? What's inside? What will I learn? There's a lot of questions open from that one statement. Then what you're going to do, and this is just me widening the curiosity gap. We give away everything. People are like, okay, what is everything? And we even have a whole module that we use to develop what we call a blue ocean. So people are like, okay, what is a blue ocean? So we're opening multiple questions throughout these next couple lines and always reiterating the dream outcome as well. And then in the last line, we have a CTA / promise, which is very simple. So watch this video, CTA, where I show you promise. That is the overall outro framework. So if you guys put this on your channel, you'll get about a 5% CTR on this outro framework. And if you're doing the free course, then you're going to get a lot of traffic on that and you're going to make a lot of money. So that's what we want. And then as far as homework goes, anyone who's trying to take YouTube seriously should come up with 100 ideas. I think that's a super valuable piece of homework. If you come up with 100 ideas, you're instantly going to increase your views just because you have more ideas to go off of than just thinking of one being like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me make that video. You're actually coming up with ideas, testing them, showing them to friends, showing them to target viewers, and coming up with ideas that you know are going to work. So super important. Yeah, that's pretty much it.